Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is KC, and today I'm bringing you guys a reading on how can you bring confidence and inner strength back into your life. And the reason I decided I wanted to do this video today is because I was looking back through some of my older videos, and one of my most popular ones was Why Do You Doubt Yourself? And I decided to rewatch it, and there was a level of passion and sincerity there that I really felt like that was something that I deeply cared about, and that is the type of reading that I want to bring my viewers. And I'm not saying I'm not proud of my other videos. I do think that, all my videos are very authentic, but that one in particular just felt like that is a really important message that I want to bring people. And I didn't want to just kind of redo the same whole thing, so I thought, how can I build upon that? And so, if you're feeling drawn to watching that video, I do encourage you to watch that because I feel like it can be very helpful for people that are meant to see it. But a good way that I think that we can build on that is, what do you need to do to reinvite strength and confidence back into your life? And I'm not talking about just fleeting moments where you're like, oh, I look good today. I mean like things where it's a lasting impact, like I feel like I can accomplish anything. What is holding you back? What is hindering that strength? And how can you bring it back into your life? Because I don't think that there's anybody that is just not a confident person or just not a strong person. There's people that, at times in their life are ruled by insecurities or feel like they are lacking that strength and confidence, but there is no such thing as a person that does not have the ability to attain strength and confidence within themselves. So today, I have 3 different piles, 3 different readings for you to choose from, and hopefully we're going to be able to take a look at why do you feel like you're lacking this strength and what can you do to feel confident again. So for pile 1, we have this blue lace agate, and pile 2, we have the yellow calcite, and for pile 3, we have the rose quartz. So go ahead, pause, figure out which crystal or pile you feel most drawn to. I've left timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading you feel most drawn to. But that's all that I have to say. Please enjoy your reading. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the blue lace agate, then this is going to be the reading for you. And starting off with these cards, these are going to be what exactly is hindering your inner strength and confidence. What is making you feel like you're not feeling as confident as you should be. And then finally with these cards, we're going to be looking at what can you do to reinvite that confidence back into your life. Well, not what do you need to do, because I wanted this to be gentle guidance. So it's like, what can you do? And then we're also going to be getting one card of advice that specifically your spirit guides want to give you about this issue right now. And I'll say for you, pile 1, I haven't done the other piles yet, obviously, but if you see these black cards down here, I was only supposed to get 3 cards for you, but you got 4. But not only that, 3 of the 4 are black cards. And in this deck, the Voice of the Soul's Oracle, I think there's only like 5 black cards, and those to me have like an extra significance to them. So the fact that you have 5 here when the deck is pretty sizable, to me is a sign that this is a very important message that your spirit guides want you to hear. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like there is a specific event that's really standing out to me. Specifically, I'm thinking it could have been a romantic breakup, but this seems like it could have been a friendship breakup or even the loss of somebody significant to you. This doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a death, but there was a very significant relationship that you had, and I feel like you based a lot of your worth on it. And even if you don't realize that you were basing your worth on it, I feel like you felt stronger and happier and like you were more full of life when you were around this person. But for some reason or another, the 2 of you parted ways. Now, especially if this was a romantic breakup, it makes a lot of sense for this reading that maybe you feel like without this person, you're no longer worthy. I'm no longer attractive. I wasn't worth that kind of love, and therefore I'll never find anything like it again. Or without that person, I'm nothing. I was just living in their shadow and riding their coattails is like the kind of vibe that I'm getting. You really thought that this person was like the ideal person to be or the ideal person to be with. And when you were seen with them, it made you feel so confident. It made you feel like you meant something. And I'm here to tell you, like, you mean a lot. I don't know specifically, like, what this person had going on that made them be put on a pedestal. I'm getting, like, they were the most popular kid in school kind of vibes. And since you were able to be seen with them, it made you feel like you were one of the popular ones, too. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're in school. It could be something as simple as, I guess not simple, but if you're older, this could be somebody that you were married to for a long time. And when the two of you were together, it made you feel so strong. And now that you're without this person, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are without them. And I'm here to tell you that what I see for you is you're going through a transformation right now of learning who to be on your own and how to have strength on your own instead of basing it off of who's around you, who can help you, who can hold you up. And this top part with the tarot is supposed to only be like what's bringing you down, but even here I am seeing you working your way back up to strength. You even have the strength card here. And it almost tells a story to me because you have the Four of Wands reversed, which is the breakup, and then you have the Death card, which is a change, and then finally ending with strength. So for me, what I'm seeing for you is, yes, this was an extremely painful loss to you, and it really knocked you down, and not only that, but it struck a blow to your confidence and the strength that you have inside. And it felt like a death. It felt like a loss of not just this person in your life, but a loss of who you were when you were with them. And you're not sure what direction to go in. It's almost like you're hitting rock bottom when it comes to insecurities. But the only direction to go from is up. The only direction to go from there is up. And it's only going to lead to an even stronger sense of confidence, because the confidence and strength that you felt when you were with this person wasn't true confidence, because it was just coming from the circumstance you were in, the person you were around, the point in your life that you were at. It wasn't truly based on you. It wasn't coming from within you. You were finding it in other people. And now that that person is gone, you're the only one left, and you have to say, all right, if I want to be strong and confident again, I can't find it from other people. How can I find it within myself? And that is something that you are going to be doing. And not only are you going to find this strength and confidence again, but it is going to be so much stronger than it was when you were with that person, because it was based on a false foundation. And that foundation had to be knocked down so you could truly find it within yourself. And so the messages I have for you for what can you do to invite this strength back in is you have message of peace, message of freedom, and communication and message of guidance came out together. So with message of peace, this makes me feel like you haven't fully reckoned with this breakup, whatever it is. This is a general reading, so it is different for everyone. I feel like for about 80% of you, this is a romantic breakup of some kind, maybe somebody that you were with for a very long time. And for the other 20%, this could have been the friend group you were in, a specific friend you had, or it could have even just been the point in life that you were at. Maybe you were feeling really good there, and now you've moved and you're in a completely different set of circumstances, and you're feeling a lot less secure in them. And Spirit wants you to make peace with this loss. I feel like you blame a lot of your insecurity on, well, that person did me dirty, or I was only able to be strong in those circumstances, and it's not my fault that, now I'm in these new circumstances and I feel this way. Somebody else made me feel this way. And I'm almost getting this message that it's kind of like this kind of tough love I'm getting. It's like you can't be the victim. Like, yes, it sucked. Yes, you were the victim, but you can't keep saying, I'm the victim, so therefore this is all I'm going to be. Or that situation really sucked, so I'm going to let it define myself. And I feel like your guides are trying to say, like, no, you can't. Yes, you were the victim, but that doesn't mean you have to define yourself as a victim forever. And it's time for you to make peace with the past and move on from this. Don't let it define you anymore, because you are your own person. You are a person that goes through a lot of different life circumstances, but that doesn't mean that you have to let them define you and hold you down. Even if you're close to the end of your life and you only have 10 years left to live, that's still 10 years of time that you can look forward to and say, I can be anything that I want to be in that time. I am not defined by the past 50 or 60 years that I've lived. Yes, that's a large chunk of your life, but that doesn't mean that you're at the end of your life. You have the opportunity to write your own story and not be defined by the past, especially not be defined by other people, because they have their own lives. Don't you want to have your own life? Don't you want your life to be that popular person instead of that person that hangs out with a popular person? And I feel like I'm talking very passionately, but I specifically tried to reach out to your spirit guides with the intention of getting a message from them. And their message is tough love because they want to see you succeed. They want you to be tough, and they don't want you to just play a victim for the rest of your life, because you have so much potential to have this inner strength and inner confidence far surpassing anyone else. And I have to tell you, if it has to do with looks, for instance, a large part of the way that you look and come off to people is dependent on the way that you carry yourself. Because clothing and makeup and plastic surgery, etc., can only carry you so far. But you've even seen evidence, I'm sure, online where there's people that aren't necessarily that conventionally attractive, but they carry themselves with such a strength and confidence that people can't help but be attracted to them. And so don't define yourself by like, God, I was born with ugly ears and therefore I'm going to be ugly for the rest of my life. Like, no. If you keep telling yourself that, you're going to believe that and you're going to be living that life. But if you learn to live with confidence, I swear to you, people aren't even going to be looking at your ears. They're going to be thinking, oh, wow, that person is confident. And another thing I have to say on confidence is there's no such thing as, well, I guess maybe some people, but it's very rare to have somebody be truly confident and not feel any fear or insecurity. True confidence isn't the lack of insecurity. It's the willingness to take care of yourself, comfort yourself, and learn to live with those insecurities. Trust me, I'm sure that the most gorgeous person in the world, the most gorgeous celebrity, still has insecurities. And they may seem confident, but they're only confident because they've learned to live with those insecurities. Everybody has these fears, but it's whether or not you're going to let them define you or control you. You need to learn how to make peace with them instead of just accepting the fact that they're going to rule over your life for the rest of your life. And with this message of freedom, I feel like it's a reiteration of that, where once you make peace with this, you can go in any direction that you want. You can have anything that you want. And you've been boxing yourself and caging yourself in with this victim mindset. And again, I'm not saying that you weren't a victim, but you can't let victimhood define you. Because if you let it define you, then you might as well just give up. What's the point of going through life if you've just resigned yourself to, oh, well, this one bad thing happened, so I'm just going to live my life completely focusing on it and never moving on from it. No, it's time to move on from that. Let yourself be freed of this because it's holding you down. And I know it's easy for me to say, of course, not dealing with it. It's easy for me to say, it's just in your head, just get over it. I know it's going to be very hard to get over. And I'm not saying that it's going to fully ever go away. It might be something that's always nagging at you or always hurting you in some way, but it's the ability to live with it and the ability to not let it define you and to change your mindset, change your outlook on life, and change the way that you think, act, and behave. That is how you go through life more confident and strong. Instead of just saying, well, this is as good as I'll ever be. Like, have higher expectations for yourself. Expect more from life and expect more from yourself. And finally, with message of guidance and communication. With the message of guidance card, you even see these hands, if you look at them, that are linked together like this. And I'm almost imagining your spirit guides coming to you, holding your hand and speaking this message to you. And with the communication card, I feel like it's not about what you need to say to another person. Because if this is a breakup that you aren't fully over, getting closure with people is very tricky. Because when you want closure, if you're expecting them to say a certain thing or act a certain way in order for you to feel fully at peace, you're never going to get that unless they say all the right things. And that is, they are still their own person with their own thoughts, their own beliefs, and their opinions on what happened. And you can't expect them to give you closure. So how can you find closure within yourself? If this is still something that you need to make peace with, this communication that needs to happen is a communication between you and yourself. I feel like your spirit guides are here for you. They're holding your hand and they are watching your back. But at the same time, this isn't something that somebody else can do for you. This is something you need to do on your own. And so with the communication card, you even see that she's like, this girl in this picture is sitting and meditating. And so I want to encourage you, if you've really been having a hard time moving on from a certain thing or dealing with certain insecurities, to sit with yourself and talk to yourself and almost come up with a plan. Like, okay, how can we get over this? How can we make peace from this? Because I'm tired of feeling caged in by my own securities. I'm tired of not having this strength. I want to be confident. So what do we need to do? You and yourself, what do you need to do to get over them? How can you make peace? And I feel like this is all I can say here, because this is something that you're going to need to find for yourself. This is something that you need to come to terms with on your own. And again, that's like what I said with I'm getting this tough love energy from your guides, because they love and support you, but they can't do it for you. This is learning true confidence and strength, like I said, doesn't come from other people, and it's certainly not going to come from your guides. It's something that needs to come from within you. It's something you need to learn for yourself and something you need to figure out how to have. And so finally, the last piece that we have for you is a piece of advice from your spirit guides. So we have number 16, if it'll focus, opportunity, and you see there's a bee, a woodpecker, and a red door. So I don't know if that has any significance for any of you, but we're going to go ahead and read number 16. And this is the message of advice from your spirit guides, what you need to hear right now. So, number 16, opportunity. Woodpecker is the only creature in the world that bangs its head against something 12,000 times a day. When woodpecker knocks on your card spread, it is a sign of resilience. Like woodpecker, you must be determined and persevere. If there seems to be an obstacle in your way, this is the beautiful confirmation to keep going, because nothing can stop you. No one and nothing can take you down. In this card image, woodpecker is knocking on a red door of opportunity. This mysterious door is easily looked past, even though it is right in front of your face. However, it holds the emblem of the bee and shares this message. There is an approaching opportunity in alignment with stepping into a more expansive version of yourself and fulfilling yet another part of your purpose. Opportunity is approaching. You must be increasingly aware. Now is the time to raise your head like woodpecker and persevere. Nothing can break you. The red door of opportunity has finally bestowed its grace upon you. You are so close. There is a cascade of red doors lined up, waiting for you. Once you enter through one door, you will be led to another. This is your moment. This is what you have been waiting for. But you must first take action and knock. These opportunities may come in the form of small requests you would ordinarily say no to. Any one of these seemingly small or arbitrary opportunities could be a doorway to something monumental to fulfilling your purpose. It is your choice whether to knock on this door. Woodpecker's medicine suggests you choose to knock. So, pile 1, that is all that I have to say for you. I feel like this message, I'm not going to try to reiterate anything or re-emphasize something. It is what significance you give to it, what it means to you, and what parts resonate with you. So, pile 1, I truly wish you the best on your journey. I do see you finding this strength for yourself. I see you becoming better than you ever envisioned. But all you need to do is find it for yourself. Stop relying on other people. Stop expecting other people to be able to give it to you. So pile 1. Sorry that was a little bit tough love. I don't usually sound like this in my readings, but I feel like this is something that you really needed to hear. I even came into this with I'm going to try to make this a gentle message, but I felt like I was almost berating you a little bit, so I'm sorry if it came off harsh. I truly wish you the best in everything you do. And if you're looking for any more videos like this, I do post twice a week, and again, like I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, I don't know if you watched that, but I did make a video called Why Do You Doubt Yourself? And if you feel drawn to do so, maybe that video has something for you to hear. But yeah, that's all that I have to say for you, Pile 1. Truly wish you the best. Thanks for watching. Alright, Pile 2. If you chose the yellow calcite, then this is going to be the reading for you. And I want to start off by saying I really intended for this to be like a gentle guidance kind of reading, but the way that Pile 1 panned out and the kind of energy I'm getting from yours is this is going to end up being a little bit tough love, because I'm still going to make it as gentle as possible, but I feel like what you need to hear is just like straight up like you should be doing this, and not like, well, we'll get into it. You'll see what I'm talking about. So, Pile 2. This top row is all about what is hindering your inner strength and confidence. What is holding you back? Is it you? Is it others? What is it? And then down here on the bottom, we're looking at what can you do to invite strength and confidence back into your life. And finally, we're going to get one piece of advice from your spirit guides, what you need to hear about this issue. So starting off, I want to say, Pile 2, I feel like you have grown up with parents, or even if it's not parents, it's society or friends around you that have really had a certain expectation of what life looks like for them and for you. And I feel like because of this, you always felt like you had to just go along with what other people expected of you. You go down this career path, you marry this kind of person, you have these kinds of friends, you do these sorts of things on the weekend, and it hasn't left you with any room to do what it is that you want. And I feel like the main idea of your reading isn't, lacking confidence in appearance. It's lacking confidence to speak up for yourself and say, actually, I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I don't want to do what you want me to do. I want to do what I want to do. It's the confidence to say no. It's the confidence to set boundaries. And for a long time, you've been so controlled and structured by those around you. Again, this is a general reading, so it's going to be different for everybody, but I'm definitely getting like parental figure or like family influence. And for a long time in your life, your entire life has been structured around other people's expectations. And with the Emperor card, you even see like, yes, he's a very structured, he's a very man that has like everything in control, but at the same time, you see like he's tired, he's an old man, but he's still ruling and he doesn't have time to relax. He's holding on to this scepter or whatever with an iron grip. He's constantly wearing armor and long clothing. He can barely breathe. He always has to be in control. He always has to follow structure. And you see that, behind him is this kind of barren landscape. He's literally sitting on this like concrete throne, which doesn't look like it's very comfortable. And I feel like this is something that you've been placed in the role of. Maybe, like if you're a girl, or you could even be a guy or whatever, but if you're a girl, maybe all the girls in your family have been expected to live a certain life, but you don't want to live that kind of life. They're all expected to dress a certain way, get married at this age, maybe even like into arranged marriages, and you have love for other things. You don't want to wear those kinds of dresses. You want to live your own life. And with this Ace of Cups, I feel like you have this kind of feeling of love and creativity that you so badly want to pursue. And I don't just mean in a career sense. I definitely do get a very creative vibe from you. Like you want to go in a different direction career-wise than people in your family, but it extends past that. I feel like you have this kind of watery energy where if you think of water signs, they're very emotional. And I'm almost getting this image in my mind of like a water sign raised by air signs. Like everybody is very logical and you're the one over in the corner crying and you're like, I just want to be creative. I just want to spread love. I want to live in this part of the world, not here in the hometown forever. You have this young soul kind of energy that wants to explore, that wants to live your own kind of life and follow your passions, follow your dreams, your intuition, your gut, following what makes you feel happiest. And instead, you've been placed in this role of the emperor where you're controlled, where everything is very structured and there is no branching out. Like, you even see, like, with the Ace of Cups, it's this overflowing water. You want to go to the water. But if you look at the emperor, the water is behind him, and he has to stay on this throne constantly. He can't go play in the water. Even if he did play in the water, it would be uncomfortable because he's covered in iron and long clothing. And you just want to be free. You just want to be free. And I think there's also this other message here where you've got this thing that you've learned, whether from family or those around you, that it's scary to branch out. It's scary to do new things, to set new boundaries. It's scary to move to new lands because everybody's always lived right here. It's scary to dress differently or do different things because everybody's always done it this way. And if you branch out, maybe it's even a religious thing for your family. Like, if you do this thing, you're going to go to hell. Or if you branch out, you're going to be ostracized. I'm getting this image in my mind of, like, the Amish. I don't know if you guys live in other countries, you don't know what Amish people are. I don't know if this is only an American thing. But the Amish, they're this kind of community of people that don't use any technology. They're not connected to the outside world. And if you leave this community, you are completely ostracized. You are cut off. People can't even speak to you. And I feel like maybe your scenario, your situation isn't that extreme. But you certainly have this fear that if you step out of line, if you pursue what your heart truly wants, you'll be cut out of the family. You'll be cut off and people won't let you back in. And even if you are let in, it won't be the same. And you're torn between following what it really is that you want to do in life and feeling like you might lose the people that you love the most. But with this Temperance card, I feel like you're at this point where you need to choose to really branch out, because if you don't follow what it is that your heart desires, you are going to regret it for the rest of your life. But I think that there also is a middle path where if you do things slowly, if you communicate properly, and you communicate in an open and honest dialogue of, this is what I want my life to look like. I know that you guys aren't fully going to support this. I know this is different than everybody else, but I'm not going to live a lie. I'm not going to do something that's not truthful to myself. And there will be people that do deny this. There will be people that reject you, but there will also be people that support you, even if they disapprove. And I feel like this kind of life that you're living right now, this emperor armored up, stuck on this throne, is not sustainable for you because it is completely against the desires of your soul. And following the desires of your soul isn't a sin. There's this book I've been reading, which I've read it before, but I started rereading it last night, called The Alchemist. And there's this part of the book that says, we are not given, it's essentially like you are not given desires to never chase them. The desires are what your soul truly wants, and what your soul truly wants is what your purpose in life is. And no matter what you believe in, if it's the Christian God, if it's the Islamic God, if it's other gods, if maybe you don't even believe in anything but your family believes in it, it is not a sin to follow what your heart wants, because the universe, God, Spirit, it gave you this desire. It birthed you into this world with this desire so that you could pursue it. Because there is nothing crueler in the world than giving somebody a desire for something only to pull it out of reach. Any kind of God that does that is not the real God, because the real God loves you and wants you to pursue the things that you truly love. So if you have this kind of shame for wanting to follow a certain desire, I want you to know right now that the true God would not want you to be ashamed of following what they put in your heart to love and what they put in your heart to desire. Especially if this has to do with sexuality or you having a different gender identity. Choosing to live a lie and be with people that you don't love, or be the person that you are not truly, is just going to tear you apart. And if your family truly loved you, if these people that are holding you back truly loved you, they would want to see you happy. They wouldn't want to see you put in a cage. So that part is going to be more specific for my LGBTs out there. But finally, I'm going to be looking at the bottom row of cards. Sorry, that was like a little emotional for me. And the bottom row is, what can you do to invite this strength and confidence into your life that you need? This strength and confidence to set these boundaries. And first of all, freedom. Freedom is non-negotiable. You need to be able to follow what it is that you want. And you need to learn to accept that not everybody is going to be supportive. But at the end of the day, you need to be the one supportive of you. You need to be the person in your corner because you are always going to be with you. And you can't be that one person in your corner that's like, yeah, maybe we should just listen to everybody. Maybe we should just live this lie. Maybe we should just be in pain. Maybe we should never pursue that thing that we want. Maybe we should just, stay in this career that's going to slowly will us away until we're nothing but a sack of bones that's so regretful for this sad life we've lived. No, you need to be the person in your corner that's like, no matter what, I will stick by you. As long as you are honest and truthful to what it is you desire, I will be there for you, even when there is no one else there. And with respect, the thing about boundaries is it's respect both ways. And if you haven't been able to pursue something you want because your family or friends or people around you have been, pushing it to not happen, pushing you to not be able to have those things, that's a sign of their lack of respect for you. And you need to stand up and say that you are not going to take things from people that don't respect you. You need to put your boundaries up and say, whether or not you like it, this is what I'm going to be doing with my life. Whether or not you like it, this is who I am now. These are the kinds of things that I want to do. And I still respect you. I respect your decision to stay in whatever life you want. But I personally am not going to take that. And if they can't respect your decision, then why would they be worthy of your respect? Respect goes both ways. You respect their decision to stay in this traditional kind of life, and they respect your decision to not. That doesn't mean that there's a lack of love. If anything, like I said with sexuality, the thing about sexuality and religion is a lot of the time, the families don't want people to live this kind of life that they see as sinful, not because they hate you, but because they truly do believe that something bad is going to happen to you if you pursue this life. And they love you, they want to protect you. But the thing is, not everybody has the same beliefs, and the hard truth is, yes, they do love you, but they have that sort of disconnect, and maybe they'll truly never be able to accept it. But you need to accept yourself, accept your desires, and allow yourself to live freely, the life that God wanted for you, the life that the universe wanted for you. And learn to put up these boundaries, and even if their reaction and their rejection hurts you, learning to accept and respect their decision the same way that you would want them to respect your decision. And with forgiveness, like I said, if this has to do with sexuality or you living this kind of non-traditional life, it may take a lot of time for them to forgive you for leaving behind this traditional life that they wanted you to live, living within the boundaries they wanted you to live, marrying this kind of person or having this sort of job. They may never forgive you, but you need to find it in your heart to forgive them, to understand, because the only way that you will be able to live happily, confidently, and full of strength, I feel like you have that strength that you need. But all you need to do is put up those boundaries and decide to forgive them. Even if they're mad until the day that they die, even if they never fully accept it, and even if they, like I said with the Amish kind of analogy, even if they never speak to you again, you forgive them. And so finally, pile 2, we're going to be looking at this piece of advice from your spirit guides, which couldn't be more perfect. I kind of wish that I had shuffled on camera because it all just happened so perfectly. This one is called Sacred Boundaries, if it'll focus. There's a picture of a hand and a tiger, and it's the number 43. So that might have some significance to you. Again, if this does have to do with sexuality, this kind of looks like the lesbian pride flag in the background, so I don't know, that's just my observation. But number 43, let's go ahead and read this for you. Number 43, Sacred Boundaries. Tiger Palm. Tiger palm is the medicine of sacred boundaries. Tigers are masters of their territory. In the jungle, Tiger says no to living near other tigers because she knows this will diminish the amount of food in her territory. Tiger says yes to living near water, for she knows it is good medicine to relax and play in the flowing waters. See, let me just pause real quick, because remember how I said Ace of Cups, you're like super watery, you want to go out and chase that life full of water. And if you know the symbology of water, it has to do with emotion, it has to do with intuition, passion, and you are the watery one. Like I said, you're the watery one living with this family of air signs. So, anyways, let me continue. Tiger is bold and never thinks twice about whether she should allow something toxic and dramatic in her environment, nor does she ever feel bullied or coerced into doing something she does not want to do. Tiger is so strong because she creates firm boundaries. Tiger's power comes from knowing and honoring herself. We teach people how to treat us. Never expect others to automatically respect and treat you with the justice, love, and consideration you deserve. Even when you treat them with kindness, articulate and create boundaries through courteous speech. For many people, conflict is draining, and they would rather avoid it. Still, if you are presented with a situation that continuously minimizes or belittles you, you must stand your ground and ask for respect. The mere fact of sticking up for yourself is so admirable, it energetically creates a level of esteem from others. Even if the other party does not hear you, you will have strengthened your self-worth by holding your boundaries, and this new level of deeper self-worth will reflect in other areas of your life. Boundaries do not apply to behavior from others, but also the way do not apply only to behaviors from others, but also the way we treat ourselves. Do you have guidelines for the food you put in your body, the people you create relationships with, the words you say, and the topics you discuss? Tiger Palm's medicine raises its hand in your spread when you are also being asked to level up energy you allow into your life. Start scanning what behaviors you hold that do not align with, I treat my body, mind, and spirit like a sacred temple. Tiger Palm's medicine directs you to set boundaries with not only others, but yourself. So, pile 2, I think that is a great way to end your reading. It seems like you're going through a very rough time, and this is a rough life path, but this is something that your soul chose for you. Or at least that's what I believe. And I believe that everything happens for a reason, and it happens for our highest good. So, I wish you the best on your journey. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're hoping for more from me, I do post about twice a week, so feel free to subscribe if you want more. Or just feel free to check out any of my other videos, because that also helps me out a ton. And if you're looking for personal readings, I do offer those. There's a link down in the description below to my shop. But that's all that I have for you today. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do, Pile 2. Bye-bye. Alright, Pile 3, last but certainly not least. If you chose the Rose Quartz, then this is going to be the reading for you. And let me close the window real fast. Alright, so I did tell Pile 1 and Pile 2 previously, and now I'm going to have to tell you that I did originally intend for this to be like a gentle guidance kind of reading, but they've all kind of turned into a tough love kind of reading. And I don't think it's like tough love, like you need to do this now or else you're gonna fail. It's like, if you really want this, if you really want strength and confidence, you can't expect it from other people. And it'll only come from within you. And if you really, really want it, you need to be prepared to do what's necessary. And so that's the kind of tough love that I'm talking about here. And for you, I feel like your message here today, well, let me quickly say, this top row is what is hindering you right now. And the bottom row is what can you do to invite confidence back into your life? What do you need to do? And finally, we're going to get one piece of advice from your spirit guides, what they would tell you about this right now. So what I see for you is you're lacking confidence with your purpose in life. And I feel like a big reason for this is you do spend time trying to figure out what it is. You spend time on your own, maybe meditating or talking to yourself or journaling, and you feel like you're doing everything that you need to right to figure out what this is, what direction you're taking it. And purpose, it could also be career or whatever it is that you want to do for the rest of your life. You're trying to find out what that is. But at the same time, sorry, I kind of feel like I was to sneeze. At the same time, though, you're like, God, why can't I figure it out? I'm feeling so lost. But you're not fully detoxifying your life. Your life is still full of distractions. And with the Three of Cups and the Eight of Wands, it's good to have that balance of like being on your own, but also being around the right people. But I feel like you're like almost partying or going out or being around the wrong people to your detriment. You're not surrounding yourself with, let me put it this way. You are who you surround yourself with. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be in the real world. Because people always say, like, surround yourself with 5 people that you want to be like. So people that are go-getters, people that are actually pursuing what it is they want to pursue in life. Because if you're hanging around with friends that just want to drink and do drugs and sit around and not really do anything, you're going to turn into one of those people that just sits around and does nothing. But if you hang out with the kinds of people that, try to work out every day, they meditate and journal, and they focus on their career, you're going to turn into one of those people as well. And if you're like, well, I don't really have a lot of people around me, I want you to take a look at the kinds of online influences that you have. Are you reading books about self-help? Are you watching YouTube channels about ways to benefit your life? Or are you just watching mindless videos about how, the world is going to end soon, or here's 5 things you can do to pass the time? Think about it. Because the 5 people that you have around you don't necessarily need to be physical, real people that you talk to every day. I mean, think about how often you spend on your phone. Think about how often you spend on the computer. Are you filling that time with informational videos that actually make you want to be a better person? Or is it Minecraft parkour videos? And I'm not saying that those videos are bad. You don't constantly have to be on the self-help grind, but you need a balance. And I feel like what you've been lacking is that balance. You're tipping a little bit too much into the distractions, and especially with the Eight of Wands, I feel like your life is full of so many different things that you don't have time to truly focus on what it is you want to do with your life. You're with this partying card, you could physically be out there partying too much, or like I said, you're online watching things that are just numbing your mind. You're just watching Netflix when, you could be listening to people talk about like how I became successful. I don't want to stress you out and be like, if you spend even 10 minutes on Netflix, you're gonna fail, you're never gonna succeed. Because this is a hard balance that I had to come to as well. And I still have times where I sit on TikTok. I have times where I'm on YouTube watching stuff that's, whatever, doesn't really do anything. But when I'm driving, I like to put on podcasts of, ways to take care of yourself. I like to watch YouTube videos like TED Talks, people explaining like what they did for the world, and it makes me feel uplifted. Even if it's not like me writing down like, okay, I need to make this kind of schedule for my life. Sometimes it's as simple as watching an inspirational video, because those kinds of things make you feel uplifted. They make you feel inspired to do more in your own life, So I want to encourage you to start thinking more about the kinds of information that you're allowing into your mind. Is it mind-numbing? Is it actually benefiting you, or, is it just kind of useless information that you're not even going to remember tomorrow? So Spirit really wants you to detoxify right now, because they see that you're stressing out about trying to find your purpose or what you want to do with your life. And I know you feel like you're doing enough, and maybe you are doing enough, but the fact that you also have these detrimental distractions in your life is taking away from all that work that you're trying to do, because it's filling your mind with all this mind-numbing chatter and taking up all that, important space in your brain that you could be putting towards better things. So this next part is kind of interesting. it doesn't quite line up. Well, I'll explain it to you. So the next part is, what can you do to invite confidence and strength back into your life? And the first thing I want to say is, even though this is like the last card, with freedom, I feel like this is talking about freedom from those distractions, freedom from things that don't serve you. So I want you to go through life, go through the next day the same way that you have been going through. Wake up the same way that you do, watch the same things that you do, but as you go through them, think, is this actually going to benefit me in the long term, or is this a distraction for right now? Because time is money. And I don't just mean like you should be a workhorse, you constantly need to be on that grind, but time is all we have. Are you spending life doing things that you actually want to do? It could be as simple as, it doesn't necessarily need to be you going out hustling, working that 9 to 5 so you can make that bank. Instead of going on your phone for an hour, spend some time outside, get some sunshine. A lot of people in the modern world have a vitamin D deficiency, and that can be fixed just by sitting in the sun for a little bit. And maybe you live in a place that's rainy, you can't get sunshine, but spend some time, go to a cafe, be around other people, read some books, go out and do something fulfilling to distract yourself instead of something that, like I said, you're not going to remember in the next 30 minutes. Like, can you remember all those TikToks that you just watched if you have TikTok? So freedom from distractions will be a great help in clearing your mind, because I feel like a really big issue that a lot of us have these days, especially in the modern world with all this technology, is we're so up in our heads all the time that we are ungrounded. And when you're not grounded, you always feel like you're floating through life. And you might even have like memory issues. You can't recall what happened yesterday, and it's because your brain is trying to make space for all these distractions that you're putting into it. It doesn't have time to hold on to this important information that you're putting into yourself. Like I said, it's detracting from all that work that you're trying to put into your life purpose or whatever goal it is that you have in life. I feel like your message here is, whatever goal it is that you've been trying to work towards, the thing that will help you the most right now is cutting out these distractions that aren't helping you. And the part that I said doesn't quite make a lot of sense is, you have karmic message and karmic relationship. And this could be different for everyone. For some of you, it's a very important time to get more in touch with your spirit guides. So meditating, trying to get in touch with your intuition, maybe even ancestor work if you do that. Or it could be somebody that you're about to meet here in the 3D, in the real world. So what I want to say is, there could be somebody in your life that you feel like is really beneficial. Like I said, with having the right people around you. I think it's time for you to evaluate all your relationships and say, is this person bringing me in the direction that I want my life to look like 10 years from now? 10 years from now, when you see yourself successful, is that person still next to you? Or are they cut out of your life because they are a hindrance to you? And that doesn't mean that you have to, cut off your close friends, but it might mean that you may need to distance yourself from them a little bit, or at least not devote as much important time to them so that you can focus on things that are actually benefiting you. So take a look at the kinds of influences that you have around you, online or actual people in your life, and say, who is actually helping me and who do I need to take some time from? And I'm getting this kind of vibe that there is a specific person in your life that is very beneficial. This could be a parent, a different friend, a mentor, a teacher, but it's a karmic relationship of some kind that is meant to teach you and guide you towards this goal. And you're not going to be able to actually work with this person or learn things from them if you're constantly filled with all these other distractions or other friends. This person is going to just seem like just another person passing by. So it's time for you to kind of minimize a little bit, get rid of those distractions that aren't serving you, and focus on this goal a little bit more seriously, because if you really want to achieve it, you can't just be filling your mind with all these other things, or else your mind's not going to have room for the important stuff. So I know I've been rambling a lot about that stuff, and I could go forever and keep rambling, but I want to get to your final message, which is victory, number 40. And there's this, I think this is a falcon wearing a crown. There's like all these colors in the background, and there's binoculars. So don't know if any of that has any significance to you, but we're going to go ahead and read that message. So this is advice specifically from your spirit guides that they want you to hear about this issue right now. Number 40, victory. Falcon heralds victory on the horizon. She dares to accept all challenges. Now you must focus like Falcon on the end goal and discipline yourself to actualize your inner vision. There is no time for mindless activities. Focus like a laser on what needs to be done and do it. This is exactly what I was just talking about. I should have just read this and forgot all that other stuff. Something special is waiting to be developed, but it requires your steadfast commitment. What you most desire may take months or years, but do not rush for completion. Timing will play in your favor if you endure the long journey. Falcon's medicine shares that the key to your victory is discipline. Do not lean on motivation to carry you through, because on your journey, motivation will often vanish for time, and you must discipline yourself to push through no matter what. What you desire is attainable, and what you long to do in this life is yours, but you must work for it. Falcon's medicine suggests you create a commitment of just 20 minutes a day working towards your goal. Now more than ever, it is the time you must take steadfast action and have unwavering faith you will succeed. Do not give up. Keep going. Something beyond your wildest dreams awaits you to capture it. Falcon's medicine is an honor to have chosen in your spread today. It brings the medicine of victory, but you remember it comes to you through your discipline. So, pile 3. I think that was the perfect way to end your reading. I really hope that all this resonated. I really hope it helped. And I truly wish you the best on your journey through life. I think that there's something really great that you're supposed to be working towards. I think that your purpose in life is something beautiful, but you're only at the beginning of it. So don't stress too much about, you can re-listen to this part. It literally said, don't worry about the time that things are happening on. Focus on discipline. Don't think, it needs to happen by this deadline or else I'm going to fail. No, just work towards disciplining your life a little bit more. Think about the kinds of things that you want to have in your day-to-day routine. Think about the kinds of people around you and especially the kinds of internet influences. Personally, I really strongly recommend, this isn't sponsored, obviously, but there's a YouTuber here who also does tarot videos named Chloe Taylor, and she has a podcast called Divine Authenticity, and I think that her podcast, it has been super beneficial to me, and that might be something that you want to listen to. So if you've been wanting a podcast or, looking for a better internet influence, there's that. And there's a ton of self-helpy kind of stuff and spiritual journey kind of videos here on YouTube. So, if you're meant to find it, it'll find you. Don't rush to find all the right things right away. Just, work on the discipline part. So pile 3, that's everything that I have. If you enjoyed your video and you want more from me, please think about subscribing. I do post about twice a week, so if you want more like this, there will be. Leave a like if it helped you, because that helps me out a ton, or just feel free to check out any of the other videos on my channel, because that also helps me. And if you are looking for one-on-one personal readings, I do offer those. There's a link down in the description box below to my shop. But that's all that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I truly wish you the best. Bye-bye.